This is the story for week 9. There are two stories. The first one is called Stone Soup. A long time ago, two friends were traveling from town to town, but they didn't have any money, and they carried a large pot with them to help them get food. Usually, when they arrived in a new town, it was in the afternoon, and they had time to find a bed and get some food. But one day, the distance between the two towns was very far, and it took a long time to arrive at the town. By the time they reached the town, it was nighttime. Everyone was asleep. And they finally went there. The two friends were hungry, but they didn't have any money, so they couldn't buy any food or find a place to sleep. What they did is they went to the middle of the town, and in the middle of the town they found a well. They took a drink from the well, and they laid down and went to sleep. In the morning, when they got up, they were still hungry, but one friend, he went and he found some firewood, and he built a fire. The other friend, he cleaned the pot, he filled it full of water, and he put it on the fire. And then he found two large stones, and he cleaned the stones, and he put those in the cooking pot, and he began to stir the pot. Pretty soon, the people of the town started to get up and come out of their houses, and one old woman, looked at the two friends and said, "What are you cooking?" The friend said, "Stone soup. It's really delicious, but it's actually much, much better with chicken." The old woman said, "Well, I have a chicken," and she returned a few minutes later, and she handed the friend a chicken. He took it, he cut it up, he put it in the pot, and continued to stir. The old woman and the two friends were talking over the pot, stirring, when a man walked by and said, "What are you guys doing here?" And the woman said, "Well, we're making stone and chicken soup." And then the friends told him, "Yeah, it's really good, but you know, what's even better is if we have potatoes." The man said, "Okay, just a minute," and he came back in a bit with a bucket of potatoes. He gave them to the friends, who cleaned them, washed them, peeled them, and dropped them into the pot. The old man and the woman and the two friends, they were standing over the pot talking and looking at the soup, and a group of people had sort of gathered around and sort of watching them. And the friend explained to the people that they were making stone and chicken potato soup, but the more vegetables they had, the more delicious the soup would be. People sort of drifted away, but many of them came back. One woman brought some celery, another brought onions and garlic. A man came with some carrots, and another with broccoli, and someone brought salt and pepper. They gave all this to the two friends, who put it all into the pot after they cleaned and washed it and cut it up. They continued to stir the soup, and the people stood around talking and chatting and smelling the soup, and by mid-morning the soup was ready, and the friends said, "Let's eat!" And everybody got a very large bowl of soup for their breakfast, and the two friends also enjoyed a very delicious stone soup breakfast. That's story number 1. Story number 2, housework. There are many jobs in my house, and my mother and father do most of the work around the house. My father does all the work outside. He shovels snow in winter and washes the car and changes the tires. My mother, she cleans the house, but my father has to clean the TV room. My mother says he is the one who spends most of the time there, so he has to clean it. She's always telling him to turn down the volume on the TV, and she says, "It's too loud, it makes it impossible for people to study." I do my homework in my room, but on Monday and Wednesday, I go to a cram school. I like to study at the cram school because it's very quiet, and the teacher there is very good at explaining things I don't understand. I'm preparing for a big national test next month. My mother cooks dinner every day. She's a very good cook, and she likes to serve only very fresh food. When she goes to the supermarket, she only buys just enough vegetables and meat for that day. She doesn't like to have leftovers, so in our family, we very rarely have the same food on consecutive days. My mother also washes the clothes for our house. Each of us has a different colored laundry basket in our room. Mine is blue. And my mother asks us to bring our dirty clothes down to the washing machine and empty the basket every day. She gets angry if we throw our clothes on the floor. Once I tried to help my mother with washing. She washes the clothes by color, and I decided to wash all the shirts together at once instead. Well, one of the shirts was red, and all of the shirts came out of the washing machine a bright pink. My mother was not happy with me and told me to not worry about housework and cleaning or laundry anymore. She wants me to focus on studying, so I don't have to do laundry or help clean up anymore. Every evening, my mother also washes the dishes right after dinner, and then she has to help my sister with her homework. My sister is also preparing for a big test this year, and she goes to cram school on Monday, but she does not like doing homework. So my mother sits down and helps her with her homework every day. And after they finish doing the homework, my mother takes the dog for a walk. But we can't go because we have to study. So those are the two stories for today. There are questions posted on Google Classroom. And enjoy your week.